على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا تقربوا الزنا إنه كان فاحشة وساء سبيلا ولا تقتلوا النفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق ومن قتل مظلوما فقد جعلنا لوليه سلطانا فلا يسرف في القتل إنه كان منصورا ولا تقربوا مال اليتيم إلا بالتي هي أحسن حتى يبلغ أشده وأوفوا بالعهد إن العهد كان مسؤولا صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Bani Israeel, different commands that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given pertaining to the rights of other creations. This particular command, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا, we read it last time as well. There is some ma'arif and explanation written under this ayah in tafasir which we should go over. Number one, zina, fornication or adultery. There are two different things. Fornication generally is applied to the term where a person commits the act without them being married, while adultery is when they are married, and they have different punishments in Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always protect us. This is a very heinous act and really despised, and there is some hadiths that are mentioned that we should quote. The Prophet ﷺ has said that when a person is committing this heinous act, then they are not a believer at that time. And in the detail of this ayah, the Hazrat Muhaddithin have written that at that moment when a person is na'uzu billah committing such a heinous act, such a shameful act, iman flies away from their heart. When they are finished, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by His mercy puts the iman back into the heart of a Muslim. But at that time, when a person is committing that act, they are not a believer. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Similarly, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told us that the creations of the seven skies and the seven earths, they all curse and send their la'nat upon that person who is committing such an act. And the private parts of such people, they will exude such a bad smell that when they will be in hellfire, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us, even then they will have a particular shame because of that smell. So they would have disgrace and the punishment of hellfire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always keep us safe from this heinous act. The method to protect oneself is nikah. And this is the reason why nikah should, in an Islamic culture, should be a very easy thing to do. Nikah should be a very easy thing to do, that is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also made nikah very easy. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has encouraged that a person who is of age and able to support their spouse, their wife, they should go ahead and make nikah. Similarly, those women whose husbands have died or for any reason they are without nikah, we should make haste, and as soon as we find the appropriate match, we should enter them into the nikah of a man. This is the way to safeguard the society. For those people who are not yet able to do nikah, who do not have the means, the Prophet ﷺ has said that keep fasting. Keep fasting means not once a week or twice a week, but keep fasting means regularly fast, because it weakens the desire and it is very effective in protecting a person from zina. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. Do not kill a person who's been made haram by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except in a righteous way, except justly. So the three ways that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has mentioned, that it might be just to take the life of a believer, a person who said La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. It is not permissible except for three situations. One, when somebody has committed the act of adultery, which is zina after marriage. So the punishment mentioned according to Sharia is that they will be killed by pelting them with stones, and this is going to be done by the Islamic government, not by an individual. Secondly, when they have committed a murder and the person who's left behind, the wali, the son or the person who is going to take revenge on behalf of the killed, they can ask the government to take qisas, and in qisas of life there is life. So the life of the killer would be taken. That is the second way that a person who is believing, their life can be taken, and that is haqq, but again executed by the Islamic government, not by any individual. Third thing is when somebody has turned away from Islam, refuted Islam, then they are given allowed time, and they are in 3 days. In those 3 days, the scholars, the people whom they would listen to, they try their best to make sense to them of Islam and try to bring them back to the fold of Islam. If not, then such a person deserves to be killed by the Islamic government according to the Sharia in an Islamic government. So these are 3 ways. Apart from these, if somebody, the Prophet ﷺ has said more or less, meaning aids or abets in the killing of a Muslim, even by saying a single word, the Prophet ﷺ has told us that on their forehead it will be written that this person is deprived, has lost hope, has no hope in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yai'asu mir rahmatillah. This person, a'isu mir rahmatillah. This person has lost hope. He's that person. Similarly, the Prophet ﷺ has said that even if all the creations of the skies and the earths take part in the killing of a single believer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that I will not hold back, and I will put all of them in hellfire. Therefore, the Prophet ﷺ has also said that there is hope for forgiveness for every single person, even the most major sinners, except for 2 kinds of people: one who dies on kufr, and the second one is the one who takes unjustly the life of a believer and dies without asking for forgiveness. So therefore, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. In our countries, in our cultures, this killing has become very widespread, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. This is a major sin, something that the Prophet ﷺ is saying that it is basically in punishment. This person who dies, he's like the person who's done kufr, that he dies without asking for forgiveness. The Prophet ﷺ is saying that I do not expect mercy or maghfirah or forgiveness for that person on the day of judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. وَمَنْ قُتِلَ مَظْلُومًا فَقَدْ جَعَلْنَا لِوَلِيهِ سُلْطَانًا فَلَا يُسْرِفْ فِي الْقَتْلِ. When you are taking retaliation, then the maximum permissible is that one person can be killed in lieu of the person who's killed. Not the way of the Arabs was that when a person of high status will be killed, they will want to go after 2 or 3 people, or whichever relative of that person who killed the killer, they would kill them whenever they get a chance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has laid down clearly that do not go beyond the boundary. فَلَا يُسْرِفْ فِي الْقَتْلِ إِنَّهُ كَانَ مَنْصُورًا. That wali, that person who's the descendant or the person who's taking revenge, as long as they do not do israf, as long as they do not go beyond the boundary, then they are helped by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّهُ كَانَ مَنْصُورًا, because they are the oppressed. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا مَالَ الْيَتِيمِ. Do not go near the mal or the property of an orphan. إِلَّا بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ, except in a manner that is good. What is that good manner? That you spend, even if you have to spend it, you spend it on the yatim itself, and with the best interest of the yatim or the orphan in your mind, with your best of intention, not freely and carelessly that the wealth is being spent on the yatim, on the orphan, but not in their best interest, or in such a way that serves the interest of the orphan and yourself as well, which is, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us, many people do. So therefore, do not go even near it. It's something, and the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is particularly mentioning yatim here, orphan here, is because an orphan is a child who is not mature, not baligh, and their father has died. So their only support, or their only male support who can ask people or hold people to account over injustices done to that child is gone. So this means that this is the biggest and the worst form of doing cruelty in terms of finances, that a person's wealth you've been entrusted with, and now you're using it against their interests. But using anyone's wealth, using anyone's property without their permission, or without, in a way that they do not like it, that is prohibited. Hatta yablugha ashuddah, until he comes to his maturity. So when they come to their maturity, then their wealth should be given to them so that they can use it. And of course, there's details to it as we have mentioned in previous surahs. وَأَوْفُوا بِالْعَهْدِ, and fulfill the pact, the covenant. So that one covenant we have made with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, try your best to fulfill it. And also the promises that you make with people, try to uphold them, try to fulfill them. Innal ahda kana mas'oola, do not think that the ahd, the covenants that you make, they are just in vain. They will be asked about on the day of judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us those who fully and completely listen to the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.